Life has its way of placing animals in precarious situations, prompting them to reach out to us for salvation. It's in these critical moments that the power of human kindness shines through. Join us on a journey that unveils heartrending encounters, where animals find solace and survival in the hands of compassionate individuals. When a little cow fell down a steep hill and couldn't get up, a kind man saved the poor animal and carried it back to its mother. When a baby deer fell down and got stuck in a fence, the mother struggled to free its baby, but these people heard the screams of the young fawn and came to the rescue. After a long mission, the baby deer was finally free and could reunite with his grateful mother.
Baby's okay. Baby's okay. No one wants to hurt her. There you go.
These kind people who give water to thirsty squirrels during the summer heat waves. When an exhausted camel was seen, collapsed on the side of the road in the middle of the Algerian desert, this truck driver stopped to provide water to the thirsty animal. When a horse was left behind without water, these Ukrainian soldiers rescued the poor animal by setting it free and giving it a drink. When this cow fell into a canal with very strong currents, it seemed sure that it would drown, and if it wasn't for this brave man who risked his life, it certainly would not have survived. After a horrific bushfire in Australia, these people found a baby kangaroo running all around by itself. When they got closer, they realized that the little creature had been severely burned.
Where's your mummy?
They took him to the vet where he was treated for his injuries. Now he will soon be able to hop around the woods again, thanks to these wonderful people. When a cat fell into the water, it seemed impossible that it would be able to get out, but thankfully, this man came up with a creative idea and saved the poor animal. The impact of humanity's waste is destroying the lives of so many beautiful animals in the world. And here is just one of many examples where a sea turtle has tangled in an abandoned fishing line. Fortunately, there are still kind people out there like these guys who decided to free the poor turtle. We've all seen adorable little ducklings struggling to keep up with their mothers. So when these two ducklings couldn't jump up on the curb to follow their mama, they were lucky this kind man was willing to help. The man called for help, and after a long rescue mission, they were finally able to remove the tin can and save the polar bear's life. This family went on their daily beach walk where their dogs loved to take a swim, but they didn't expect something would go horribly wrong today. One of the dogs suddenly slipped below the surface and was about to drown, but thanks to the owner's quick response, the dog was saved at the very last moment. This hungry polar bear asked a man for help after getting its tongue stuck in a tin can which prevented the poor animal from eating.
Лапами своими меня не трогай. Подожди, куда?
This girl was so stricken by heatstroke that it barely had any strength left in his body, when suddenly a gracious man brought this girl some much-needed water. This girl was so grateful for his kind gesture, he didn't want to leave the man's side. These people found a baby monkey stuck under a sheet of insulation and returned it to his worried mother. The mother thought she had lost her child, but look at the relief on the mother's face when they reunited. Sometimes we underestimate the intelligence of animals just because we can't communicate with them. But in fact, a lot of animals are very smart, just like this sea turtle. Not only did it realize it had something on his back that it couldn't get rid of itself, but also figured out that a human could be its savior. So it approached this diver and asked for help. And luckily it was the right decision. Watch how this kangaroo thinks as rescuers by shaking their hand.
Oh, well done. Oh, he's thanking you.
When this husky pup choked on his food, it caused his heart to stop beating, but this kind-hearted man did everything he could to save him. This Italian firefighter becomes emotional after rescuing a small kitten and cries his heart out, proving that he's a true hero with a compassionate heart.
That's it.
This stray dog was wandering around an industrial site when it fell into molten rubber and became stuck in the toxic mixture, with only his mouth poking out for air. Workers followed the screams of the dog and spent 2 hours getting it out. A leopard that had fallen into a deep well is saved by using a creative D method. When two locals were driving in Kazakhstan, where the temperature had reached minus 58 degrees Celsius, they spotted a rogue deer quietly standing with his head down. The deer's muzzle was completely encased in ice and snow, and the animal could hardly move or see anything. But instead of just passing by like many would, they stopped and spent just a few minutes of their lives in order to save the life of this helpless deer.
Глаза.
This man saved the life of a poor turtle that had been flipped over by the tide. The turtle took a few seconds to catch his breath before going back into his home. This man in Pakistan put his life in danger to rescue an injured pigeon drowning in the water. Thanks to these guys' epic rescue mission, the pigeon was able to fully recover from its injury and continue its life. These two entangled swans swam around the river, trying to break free from each other without success. That's when a couple stumbled upon them and decided to help. After a while, they finally managed to separate the poor animals who appeared to be unharmed, all thanks to the kind couple who spent a few minutes of their time sparing the lives of two helpless creatures. During wildfires, it's the animals that suffer the most when this massive blaze had finally gone out. This woman went out in search of animals that needed help and found a little kangaroo with burned hands who was crying for help.